Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to Google Classroom. Today we will study new chapter number 21. The name of the chapter is data handling. Data handling is also called statistics. It is a branch of mathematics where we discuss about data. Means it is a process where we collect data, record data and represent the data in a way which is helpful to others using graphs and charts. You must have learned about data handling in your previous class. Here we will learn the same and some more about it. As you have studied in the previous class, like pictograph, bar graphs, here we are going to learn, apart from pictographs and bar graphs, central tendency. Central tendency means we will learn here the three important central tendency, that is mean, median and mode. So that I will discuss in next video. Here I am going to discuss with you about pictograph and bar graphs. So first of all, I would like to make you understand the definitions of few terms, and these terms are like the information which we collect is called data. The data in its original form is called raw data, and when we put all this information in proper way on a paper, it is called recorded data. The next term is organized data. Means when we record the data and we organize the data on behalf of some relations between them in a tabular form, it is called organized data. And from there some information also we can get, like a frequency. The term frequency is here means how many number of times a particular observation has come in the recorded data. For example, if we are taking the marks of the student, suppose 3 students marks I am taking in different subjects, then example is suppose maths, science, SST, computer. So these are the 4 subjects where student A has got marks 40 out of 50, 45, again 40 and 42. So in this, for student A, 40 has come 2 times. This is the frequency of the number. Okay, means the number of times an observation had come in data is called its frequency. We will see with the examples also. The types of data may also be defined as primary data and secondary data. The primary data is referred that the data which we directly get, and the secondary data refer that the data which we cannot directly get, somebody collected and then that data we get, that becomes the secondary data. Now we learn how to write the frequency table or how to present the data in the table with the help of tally marks. So you will learn the tally marks. Tally marks. Tally marks we use, like for 1 we use this single bar, for 2 we use double bar, for 3 we use 3 bars, for 4 we use 4 bars, and for 5 we use 4 bars cross this one. Means these symbols we use as tally marks. If more than 5 coming is 6, then we write the tally mark for this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Similarly, 7 is there, then we write 2. If 10 is here, then we write 2 times 5. So, these are the representation of the numbers in tally form. If we have given data and asking to represent the given data in frequency table, we can represent easily. Okay. So, you have given exercise 21.1 on the same example, that you have given question and it is asking to make a frequency table using tally marks, and then further some question asked. From there you have to answer the questions. As here examples given, example number 1 of your book, that Catherine threw a dice 40 times and noted the number appearing each time is given. As you know, a dice has 6 faces, and on its 6 faces 6 numbers present from 1 to 6. So 40 times a dice has been thrown. Each time the number has been noted down. Thereafter you have to draw the tally marks for this data. So what will you write? As it is written here, first you write the numbers which are on the dice. Means you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There are 6 numbers on the dice. So for this you write numbers appeared. Numbers appeared on the dice. Then you write tally marks for this. Tally marks. And the third column you will get the number of times the number appeared, that is frequency. Here we take frequency. Now from the given data you will count 1 how many times has come. As written, 1 has come 7 times, so you will draw tally mark for this. This represents 5 and this one 2. So 5 and 2, 7. And we write in frequency 7. 2 has come 6 times. So here we write 6. 3 has come 5 times. 4 has come 3 times. 5 has come 12 times. 6 6 has come 7 times. Now from this some questions are, and these questions are the minimum number of times which number has appeared. So minimum number of times is quite clear that 3. Frequency is 3. Minimum number of times, so 4 has appeared minimum number of times. Okay. Then the next question, the maximum number of times which number has appeared. So from this table you are seeing 5 has appeared 12 times. So maximum number of times it has appeared minimum number of times, and 5 has appeared maximum number of times. The third question is equal number of times. So you are seeing here is 7 and here is 7. So 1 and 6 have appeared equal number of times. And the last question, the number of times 1, 2 and 3 appeared. So you will add, then you will write the answer. 1 has appeared 7 times, 2 has appeared 6 times, and 3 has appeared 5 times. So the total sum will be 18. Like this, if data given to you, you can make a frequency table, and then the questions given to you, you will answer. Now we will learn pictographs. Pictographs are the graphs which we use to draw with the help of a symbol or a picture. Instead of taking numbers, we use here symbols or picture, a suitable picture. Okay. Then we assume the picture that we are taking is how many other pictures or numbers it represents. Suppose we are having big numbers and we are going to use pictures to represent, then we consider one picture is equal to 10 unit, one picture is equal to 20 unit, one picture is equal to 50 unit, one picture is equal to 100 units, and so on. And on behalf of that, you can draw. A pictograph is quite easy to understand and represent. It looks attractive also. A large amount of data can be represented by a pictograph also. As you are seeing example in question on page number 216, a pictograph had given. In this pictograph, the population given in different years, and this population for one people picture population is 1 billion. That's why I told, when you are taking a symbol or a picture, you have to write that picture represents how many units. Okay. Once you will make a pictograph, then you will get some questions to answer. Or sometimes pictographs given to you, and on behalf of that some questions asked, and you have to answer the question. And that time it is said interpretation of pictograph. Okay. On page number 217, it is given interpreting a pictograph. So pictograph is given, and on behalf of the pictograph some questions asked. You have to read the pictograph carefully. You have to understand the pictograph carefully, and thereafter you have to answer the given questions. The next topic is how to draw a pictograph. A pictograph can be drawn using a picture, a suitable picture for the given data which is in numeral given, and for that you will select a pictograph to represent or to make the pictograph. Now bar graphs. You must have seen bar graphs. Bar graphs are the graphs which drawn between two axes. One is x-axis, another one is y-axis. And the bars generally which we name are in the shape of rectangles. While drawing bar graphs, we keep in mind that the width of the bars are same throughout, and also the space between the bars are same. We can draw horizontal bar graph also and vertical bar graph also, but generally we prefer vertical bar graph because it is much representable and it looks good. Okay. There are some steps that you will keep in mind to draw the bar graphs are: you will take to access the numbers you will represent on y-axis, and the bars you will show on the x-axis. You will keep in mind that the width, suppose here is 10, 20, 40 given. Here it is given red, blue, green, black. Actually, with this I am going to plot the number of balls: red balls, blue balls, green balls and black balls with the help of bar graphs, and I am going to plot a vertical bar graph. These are the number of balls. Here you can write number of balls. Okay. Means on vertical axis we have number of balls, and on horizontal axis we have the color of balls. We can take it x-axis and this one y-axis. Now, suppose the number of balls are 10, then we can draw the bars like this. The width, if blue one is 15, then we can draw. We will maintain the thickness of the bars. The width of the bars will be same throughout the representation, and the space between bars also will be same throughout the representation. If green color small number is 35, you can draw like this, and if black color ball number is 20, it is the vertical bar graph. You can also represent it horizontally by taking the names of the color on the vertical axis. Here it is red, blue, green and black. It is y-axis and the x-axis. On x-axis we are taking the number of the balls: 10, 20, 30, 40. You keep in mind that you will take these numbers in a proper way, or you will choose a proper scale. Now, red balls numbers are 15 here, So here is 15, 25, 35 and 45. So 15 means red balls will be shown with the bar graph like this. Blue balls numbers are 15, red balls 10, blue balls numbers are 15, so we represent like this. Green balls numbers are 35, so we represent green balls. Like this, and then the black balls numbers are 20, so we represent black balls number. This is the horizontal bar graph, and this one is the vertical bar graphs. So like this you can draw the bar graphs. The steps already given in your book that you will follow also. Okay. So I hope that you understood how to draw horizontal and vertical bar graphs. You will have homework exercise exercise 21.1, 21.2 and 21.3. So thank you students.